You're listening to the Artist King podcast.
Welcome to Artist King podcast number 29. I am your host, DTM. In this episode, we sit down with the League of Art Entrepreneurs graduate, Justin D. Anderson. Justin is a multidisciplinary artist making waves in the graphic design, illustration, and fine art scene. I first met Justin 10 years ago, and we have worked together in a variety of projects. His talents have kept him in the spotlight of ATL's group art shows, photo manipulation for magazines and advertisements, and his very distinct logo illustrations. I've enjoyed his Hands of Doom art series and look forward to the day his solo show hits ATL. Check out more of Justin's art online and follow him on Twitter and Instagram under artist53.com, twitter.com/artist53, and instagram.com/artist053. League of Art Entrepreneurs is a business program focused on copyrights, trademarks, business planning, and contracts, all needed in the life of an art entrepreneur. Artists received one-on-one advice and guidance from art intellectual property attorney Deborah Gonzalez, Esquire, and facilitated by Aisha and Daniel Flores. League of Art Entrepreneurs is an Artist King program open to 12 artists at a time, once a year for 6 months. Applications to the LAE program will soon open. Contact DTM at artistking.org to express interest and for more information. Artist King podcast is proudly sponsored by the law offices of Deborah Gonzalez, Atlanta Tech Village, C4 Atlanta, Wonderroot, Burnaway, Revolveskate.com, Velocity Screenprint, Lucom.com, and Denominator Graphics. Now on to our artist interview with Justin Anderson. Please tell us your name, where you're from.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Justin Anderson, better known as Artist53. I hail from Columbia, South Carolina.
And what do you do?
What I do is I do illustration and graphic design. Illustration in the realm of character design, portraits, and also caricatures, also murals. In reference to graphic design, I specialize in logos, websites, business cards, and branding.
And how long have you been doing that? And what got you the idea to do that?
I've been doing the freelance graphic design for about 10 plus years, also illustration for 10 plus years professionally. When I was in college, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I never really wanted to work for anyone else. I always had the entrepreneurial spirit, and taking several courses in college and in specifically graphic design really geared me towards doing that. So when I graduated, that's basically what I wanted to start up.
And when you started painting, what inspired you to paint or draw? What were some of your influences?
Well, in reference to painting, I would say that several influences included, not specifically fine artists, but comic book artists. The art of Alex Ross. I loved the way his style was with his techniques. And also in the realm of fine art, you had artists like Kara Walker. And also, you have your urban artist, W. You have the occasional superstar, Dan the Man, of course, one of my influences. And, several others, classical artists that I've seen throughout the years and I've learned through history. To be noted, some would include Jackson Pollock, who was a really deep influence in reference to my style and how I love to splash paint.
Okay, but and so when did it occur to you that you could make a living with art?
It really occurred to me when I was at a young age. I saw, cartoons and such saw T-shirts, things of that nature. All kinds of things that you can put art on. That made me want to keep doing that. Especially in realms of comic books. I always loved comics, so I figured, why not keep it going and try to learn this craft and make a living from it. But it really got intense when I, got some proper training in reference to graphic design, because at that point, that's when I really knew that I could help businesses out there that have, business cards that don't look as professional as they should, or their business doesn't speak to the type of, personal look that they could have. So I really wanted to help people out in that realm.
And what was the training that you had?
Basic training in reference to, how to design the card, how to design a website, how to keep things simple. I had a teacher, his mantra was always less is more. And so, several just basics of design principles, and, color theory, things of that nature. So.
And that was in school, in college?
Yeah, that was in school.
And you had already decided you wanted to be a professional artist of some kind?
Yes.
That's what motivated you to go to college?
Well, that just added to it, The comics was really, the point at which, I really wanted to take it to a professional level. I really wanted to learn how to draw this and get into that industry. But graphic design kind of steered me in another direction to make, monetary gain from what I could do. So, like for instance, the logos. I love creating a logo, like coming up with a concept and helping the client, establish a look and feel for their business. So much enjoyment out of that. It really helps me because it allows me to think. I like to think outside the box. I like to come up with things that would work well, and something that they could have, and something that could last for several years.
And so when you started drawing and painting, got into the graphic design thing, and when you get jobs or commissions for either one of those two, what kind of commissions and jobs do you enjoy most?
What I really enjoy most are the illustration jobs. It's more of a freeing experience, only because of, I'm not stuck at the computer. In reference to illustration, it allows me to think about concepts and ideas that could be put together. It allows me to use my hands more. I'm able to adjust and edit things. Being able to use different concepts, colors. The same can be said of graphic design, but also with illustration, I just feel more at ease with the illustration realm as opposed to the graphic design realm. Whereas, the difference between, for me, for graphic design, is sort of I don't want to say you're stuck in a box, but in some instances, you can be stuck in a box.
So is art one of your jobs, or is it a full-time job? Are you committed to art full-time?
Oh, yeah. Art is full-time for me. It's what I have. That's my bread and butter, and training to be a full-time master. That's one thing I've always wanted to become, is a master of my craft. Ever since I was a kid, I always thought that I could do this better, or I could make this look better. So I always just kept on training. And even today, I keep at it. I keep learning. I'm always looking for, special techniques, special tips, anything like that can help me further that.
So how much drawing do you think you do on the average per day or per week?
At least I try to at least get in 4 hours a day of drawing.
What?
Yeah, at least 4 hours a day, if not that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then does that include business work projects that you're working on, or just yourself, your own personal art?
Well, in reference to my personal art, it includes the study, and techniques of things that I'm trying to learn. In reference to any other design work, it's normally just left up to client work when client work comes in. But in reference to the 4 hours of training for drawing and trying to get your techniques tighter. That's what I allow that time frame for.
Mm-hmm. What So tell us about that piece that you have back there behind you.
This piece here is a painting in acrylic. This is entitled "Enhanced Courage." In Japanese culture, the white tiger is seen as a symbol of courage, and I wanted those that looked at this painting to, face their day with fierceness and courage. And there's also some other symbolization in this painting, whereas with the gold chains, the gold chain enhances that. It enhances everything that you use it for, or if you're wearing it, it enhances your look, it enhances your feel. So I wanted to, paint something that symbolized that and mirrored that.
Mm-hmm. And then, so what are the themes that are in most of your paintings, and how do you come up with them?
Well, some of the things I come up with, I like to look at Japanese culture. That's one thing I'm trying to delve more into, and I would love to use more animals in my work, because it gives me a broad range to put those ideas together and have them make sense to the viewer and also to myself. Just something in reference to everyday feelings in life and experiences.
You mentioned that you have a teacher. I think you did an apprenticeship with somebody once, or did you work for a web design firm? I forget how that went.
I did a 3-month contract with a marketing firm for graphic design. I gained a lot of experience in reference to that. It showed me the fast-paced environment of a marketing firm, and how you have to be on your feet and how you can should be able to think quick. It also gave me a little bit more in reference to more of my arsenal, something to add.
Do you think those things are necessary? Should you work with somebody at some point in your career?
Yeah, I think so. I think you should do that at some point in your career just to kind of get that experience to see how it is. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't the the first. I've done several just to kind of get the idea of how it is. Mm-hmm. I worked with a printing firm here in Atlanta a couple of years back. They mostly did flyers for clubs, and that was really a fast-paced environment as well. Mm-hmm. But for me, I like how I can sit down with a client, take our time, come up with a concept, come up with an idea, and not feel rushed, because I feel like I get more out of the experience with them and with myself when, we're able to come up with a clear and conscious idea that they've put some thought into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that you have added recently? LAE was a class you took last year. You added that recently to your career. So what were you expecting to get out of it when you heard about it?
When I signed up for LAE, I really wanted to put my artwork on or kind of figure out how I could put my artwork on a broader basis. Being that I'm trying to delve more into the fine art realm, I was able to get an idea of how to price work properly, how to put your work in galleries, how to submit a press kit, how to just look for more opportunities out there for you in your art. I think it was definitely beneficial, and I'm definitely trying to put those things together this year in 2014 to kind of put everything together as a whole, just to be better at what I do.
Mm-hmm. Do you recommend the LAE class for up-and-coming artists?
I definitely recommend it. If you want to learn more about business and be a better business person, I believe that you should take those classes in the realm of art, just to get a better idea of how things should be done on a more professional level. So.
Mm-hmm. And what do you say to young artists today that what they're some of the things they should do in order to become better?
For young artists, I would suggest just researching artists that you've seen throughout history. Mm-hmm. Always read up on artists from back in the day. Because through them, that's how you learn, how to, better present yourself, how to gain better techniques,